Guys, how are you? Well, you know, whatever. I mean, I am so at a loss right now. I'm so mad. I'm so. I'm sitting here. Mainstream media is talking about alienating your rights given to you by your maker. And then this thing is unfolding into a burrito full of poop. If you hate burritos full of poop, hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Let's get into this, y'all. Now we know how poor the police response was in Uvalde shooting, and it's soul crushing. This is from the Fort Worth Star Telegram editorial board. I have not read this yet. Be reading it together. With every briefing, every new detail, the police response to the Uvalde school shooting looks worse, and the excuse making becomes more infuriating. Americans, and Texans especially, invest heavily in law enforcement. For such a catastrophic failure to happen when it matters most requires a thorough, independent investigation and accountability. Why did Uvalde police hesitate even when they were assembled in bulk? Why didn't state or federal officers who were better trained take command? I don't think they have jurisdiction. That's the whole key. Just because they're federal or state also does not mean they're better trained. Why did it fall into a heroic Border Patrol officer summoned from a barber's chair, call from his wife, who's a teacher, to charge in? Now, that is a new part of this narrative. I just heard that today. Can you believe that? One Border Patrol officer, he was getting a haircut. Luckily, he's based and goes to a based barber. It says, "Give me your shotgun." Oh, wait a second. He didn't do a background check before transferring the weapon. Oh no. Yeah, because you don't have to. It's a private property thing. I mean, geez, but oh gosh, all these narratives are just blowing up around them. And you know what else is salty about this whole thing? Is there looks like there might even be a connection between this and the Buffalo shooting. Seems like there's a retired FBI agent that kind of knew about this stuff, but we'll get into that later in a different video. Let's be clear. Police risk their lives every day. Most officers are brave and noble. Most. Leaving home without knowing if this day that duty might require sacrifice. Many step up time and again, only to see their efforts tarnished when one of their colleagues falls short of the honor the badge deserves. We ask them to do things many of us would not or could not do, but that's part of the deal. Consider the military. The U.S. has operated for decades under the idea that if we go to war, we do it with overwhelming force. But sometimes individuals or units are called upon to act quickly and amid tremendous danger because the moment demands it. In other words, when lives or the mission are at risk, they ditch the ideal plan and do what's required. The cost of not doing so is staggering. Yes, there is a law enforcement has implemented a plan since Columbine, which happened in 1999. And I believe that Uvalde had implemented the same plan. These things, they get passed around, not passed around, but I don't know the overlying authority. It's not an authority, but it's a like a collective, where you get a thought of like how everything should work. So that way, it's like say like unions and organizations, law enforcement stuff. They all work together to make a better plan. And they'll be like, okay, this is what after Columbine, what they implemented, and it's become a nationwide thing. If my understanding from another article is that Uvalde had accepted the same thing as since the 1999 incident Columbine, that you do not sit back. You take charge. You're supposed to go straight in towards the shooters. I mean, you got bulletproof vest, training, weapons. That's why you have shotguns. That's why you have rifles. You've got your sidearm. You're supposed to charge in. They sat there for an hour while shots rang off, and the guy played death metal music. So they waited for 40 minutes. One child died at the hospital because that life and others have been saved. McCraw explained the police believed they were facing a barricaded suspect. Why? There's no evidence that he was barricaded in there. Not a still active shooter. That doesn't matter. You're just assuming. He also pointed out that children were calling 911 asking for help as the shooting continued. How were officers not told that? Jurisdiction is always difficult in these situations. The Justice Department could investigate, or the State Attorney General's office, but each of those might bring political conflicts. Perhaps the state needs an independent panel led by trustworthy bipartisan leaders. Former House Speaker Joe Strauss and Pete Laney come to mind. Among the issues to probe is how the initial information about the shooting was so wrong. Whether school district police are adequate for the task, and if not, what to do about it. How to better coordinate and communicate among agencies in a crisis. You don't have to. It wasn't done that. It was all done by cell phones. Okay? It was individuals did this. That's why you don't need restrictions on communication. You don't need restrictions. Like, you should be able to listen to police banners, police radio. You should be able to get that feed and be able to listen to it. We should be able to fly drones pretty much where we want to without having to have a commercial airline pilot's license. These are simple things. This is what technology. This is where we've evolved as a species. And it's the invisible hand will take care of it. But instead, we're sitting here. I don't know. Auto had to decide what to do next about its police force. But other communities should see what happened and ask if they have the right commanders, the right protocols, and the right support. Right commanders is the key thing. Police have been savage in this country, in this country's politics in recent years. Most Americans, though, still want them well equipped, revered, and protected as much as possible. The trade-off is asking them to do things that are perilous but necessary. When they don't, innocent people die. If you sign for the military, you know what the consequences are. Sign for police, you know what the consequences are. My best friend's a police officer. I pray every day that he just makes it home. He also knows the risk. Y'all, take care of yourselves out there. Cover your six. Know your surroundings. And be prepared to take care of yourself. Because nobody else will be there when you dial 911. I love you guys. I really do. Be safe, everybody. Till next time, Godspeed, y'all.